In the end, what did LeBron see in Miami to bring him here?
You know what? He saw teammates. He saw Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and actually it's quite commendable of him because a lot of people thought he was going for the fame aspect, or he was going to be sort of on top of the world basketball-wise, or even if he was going to win championships, he wanted to be the clear #1 guy, and actually that's not the case at all. He saw legacy, and he didn't care who his teammates were, as long as they were high-quality teammates, and frankly, this was the high-quality teammates he was looking for. Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were the two best teammates out there he could find. He wants to win championships. He teamed up with them, and it's actually quite commendable.
The three players talked about sharing on Thursday. How do you think they're going to coexist?
Yeah, you know what, and just the fact that he signed with these guys goes to show you that he's perfectly comfortable sharing the spotlight, sharing the basketball, sharing all the accolades that come with it. I think specifically when it comes to basketball, it's a really great combination because you've got LeBron James, who is sort of the ball handler, the point guard, as it were, maybe the point forward. He has a lot of comparisons to Magic Johnson, and now he can really fulfill those comparisons because he's got a scorer on the wing in Dwayne Wade. He's got a guy in the low post in Chris Bosh who can just take the ball and score on his own in the post. So as much as people think that there's not enough basketball to go around, the components of their game are unique enough, different enough to coexist together. They showed it on the Olympic team when Dwayne basically came off the bench and was still their leading scorer. LeBron was a playmaker. Chris Bosh was a finisher. They can do that together here with the Miami Heat because they played together that way overseas.
With all the money committed to these three guys, how will the Heat successfully round out the roster?
Now, this to me is the funniest aspect of this whole situation because you've got experts talking about, well, if they don't put the right pieces around them, this team won't succeed. Well, frankly, that's nonsense. You don't go out in free agency to find the perfect role players. You go out in free agency to find the superstars. Pat Riley found 3 superstars and put them together. So when you talk about rounding out the roster, A, it doesn't matter as much as people are making it sound, but B, it's not as hard as people are making it sound. First of all, they've got Mike Miller, it seems, in the fold, who's a good three-point shooter, quality sidekick guy for any of those 3 guys, really opens up the floor. That's one. You've got Mario Chalmers, that's another guy. Backup point guard potentially, but possibly a starter, that's fine too. You've got the 3 rookies that they have, so basically that gives you 6, 7 guys right there. And then you're talking about rounding out the roster with 5 other guys who are going to come in for the minimum. And you know what? Raja Bell is a Miami native, went to FIU. He can come in here and play for the minimum. There are point guards available. There are big men available. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, a former teammate of LeBron James, who lives in Boca now. He can come down here and play for the minimum, and would come down here and play for the minimum. And you're already right there. You've wrapped up a 9-man rotation, and it's quality players. It's not like people who've never played in the NBA or NBDL players. So rounding out the roster is actually quite simple. It's just a matter of picking out who wants to be here and who's willing to play for the minimum and win a championship.
Everyone's talking about this today. It's like Christmas morning. People are going crazy. Will the hype die down?
It might. You know when it'll die down for the first time is when the Heat's trailing in a game. I think because right now it's almost hard to fathom that he is going to put on a Heat uniform and play basketball. Right now all you heard him say is, I'm going to join the Miami Heat, and everybody's ecstatic. But it's really going to take a while for it to settle in and say to yourself, okay, on the basketball court is when we're actually going to see this, when we're going to benefit from this. So I think once the games start, because there's going to be so much hype leading up to it, once the games start, you're going to see everybody sort of settle in and realize that, okay, it's basketball, let's just watch this, let's enjoy this. But if they go out and blow everybody out by 20, 30 points for the first 2 weeks, it's gonna exceed that, So once they struggle a little bit and they realize that there are some bumps and this is actually a journey to a championship and not an automatic thing, then you'll see the hype die down. But until then, it's gonna be crazy.